Tonight on Smacking Off the Podcast, the ACC Preview with CLEMSON DANE and Acc BRYAN. Afterward, it's Justin PIKE with PIKE's predictions.
Smacking Off the Podcast is coming soon. Please stay tuned.
Tonight on Smacking Off the Podcast, the ACC Preview with CLEMSON DANE and Acc BRYAN. Afterward, it's Justin PIKE with PIKE's predictions.
Smacking Off the Podcast is coming soon. Please stay tuned.
Tonight on Smacking Off the Podcast, the ACC Preview with CLEMSON DANE and Acc BRYAN. Afterward, it's Justin PIKE with PIKE's predictions.
Smacking Off the Podcast is coming soon. Please stay tuned.
Tonight on Smacking Off the Podcast, the ACC Preview with CLEMSON DANE and Acc BRYAN. Afterward, it's Justin PIKE with PIKE's predictions.
Smacking Off the Podcast is coming soon. Please stay tuned.
Smacking off the podcast.
And welcome back to Smacking Off the Podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Madden. I'm joined with my co-host and producer, the lovely Doug Phillips. Doug, what's going on, man?
Oh, not much. Just sitting here looking at a computer screen.
Yeah, this is a weird thing. We're actually you and I are not in the same studio tonight. There's a little bit of transition in our lives, and we're maneuvering around it. But eventually, we're going to get back to face to face. It just doesn't feel the same without you in the room.
Alrighty then. I
mean, you know, is that the best you can say? You don't even miss me, or I mean, it's like, gee, it really is. It would be great to smell your fart right now if you actually farted in the same room.
I don't want to get mushy on the podcast, Dickhole.
Okay, yeah, there's no room for that. It's only pain here, and we are going to be, as you can already hear, we're joined on the line with one Dane Kelly.
Hello.
What's up? Oh,
What's going on?
Let me do it right. And then I'm also joined on the line with one Alex Bryan from Ohio State land.
And he was brought in as an unbiased voice for the ACC.
Unbiased.
Yes, I was.
I think Alex Bryan could be unbiased when we're talking about the ACC.
Yeah, I think I gave it a whirl.
The Big 12 is a much more incendiary conversation, I would think.
Well, just nobody mentioned Trevor Lawrence, and I think we'll be okay.
Why? Why would that be an issue? We beat him last time, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
He's like, yeah.
I remember.
Oh my god.
I think I watched that game.
Did you watch that game?
Sure, though.
I really hope for your sake you didn't.
Dane, how drunk did you get toward the end of that game? I mean, did you even watch the end of the game?
I watched the game all the way through. And,
did you break anything?
I think I broke my liver.
Excellent.
I would not doubt it.
But that's about it.
Well, we have assembled this crew tonight to discuss the future of the ACC in the 2021 season. And really, I hate to say it. I know we're going to go through a few things this evening, but really it's kind of all Clemson all the time this year. Dane?
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
I mean, are we going to go ahead and throw North Carolina? Are we throwing North Carolina out of the conversation?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
man.
is there any reason to leave North Carolina in the conversation? This particular year with the schedule that Clemson has coming up, which is very favorable to Clemson, and I say this coming from an Alabama fan. You know, we've had quite a few years where we've had a few cream puffs on the schedule. We've got a couple there this year, but this is
one to start the season off.
Well, I've got one question right out of the gate. What happens if Clemson loses to Georgia? Does that? I mean, there's nothing left on the schedule. There's no way.
You got to write
us off. Really, you're absolutely right, Doug. I mean, after Georgia, it is just, and even the quote unquote heavy hitters, the other heavy hitters of the ACC, if you want to call them that, they pose no challenge to this Clemson team, none.
We're so loaded, man.
Right. That game is more important for Georgia than it is Clemson. Georgia has to play Bama after that at some point. So if they were to lose to Bama, that's 2 losses. You're basically out. Whereas Clemson, they lose to Georgia. I mean, they'll run the table after that, I would hope. Unless North Carolina actually does want to step up to the challenge. We'll see. But I mean, if there's any coach to do it, it's Mac Brown, I guess, right? But nobody's been able to shine Clemson's shoes in that conference. So,
well, what is Clemson's schedule? Let me pull it up real quick.
Oh God,
what? What's wrong, Dane?
Nothing. I'm here for.
I got you.
All right. Obviously, you got Georgia, Clemson, game 1. Then you got their FCS opponent, South Carolina State. Then you got Georgia Tech, all at home. And then game 4, you have Clemson at NC State.
And that's been tricky. That could be tricky, yeah.
Right. That could be a tricky one.
This is not a Georgia State team that will be, Georgia Tech team that will be running the triple option either. So this is a Georgia Tech team that is really completely rebuilding.
Yeah. A lot of people think in a few years Georgia Tech will be much better than like they used to be in certain eras. But Clemson then faces Boston College at home. That was a close game last year, obviously, but that was DJ Uiagalelei's first start. Then you got a bye week. Then you have 2 back-to-back road games at Syracuse and Pitt.
Man.
Then you get
both of those teams have beat Clemson in the past, in
the past 5 years for sure. And having those back-to-back road games, I mean, it's pretty tricky. Clemson then gets FSU at home. Goes on the road against Louisville, then has UConn and Wake Forest at home, and caps it off with the Gamecocks of South Carolina.
Those fucking fucks.
The Coots.
That UConn one's going to be a tricky one.
Oh, yeah.
Do they still have Edsel coaching them?
I think he got fired, didn't he? I think.
I don't know.
Or are we
maybe.
We talking about UConn?
Yes.
Let me pull it up.
Pretty sure he did, if I'm not mistaken.
What did he get fired for?
Sucking.
Sucking.
Basically.
Sucking and not sucking dick.
Yes.
Oh.
If he had done a little more of that, he would have been all right, I think. But
by the way, he's still there.
Is he really?
He's listed for the 2021 season. Randy Edsel, right?
Interesting.
He's like their winningest coach of all time.
He's
UConn there.
He's 80 and 100.
Damn.
He's got a 4.44 winning percentage.
Damn.
Oh man.
Rough.
Alrighty.
So yeah, I'm thinking NC State and Syracuse are probably. I don't know. I think Florida State will probably be better than they were last year.
But
how much better, I don't know.
We know Clemson can win the ACC and will win the ACC. But if they lose to Georgia, they're going to be depending on other teams to falter to be able to pull back into this. Am I right?
Well, and we would need North Carolina to do extremely well.
You would need North Carolina to kick ass and be able to take them out in the ACC championship game.
Correct. So as long as North Carolina is as advertised, I think we would.
I don't know. Even with one loss, if Clemson runs the table, I think they'll get in regardless, unless USC's schedule and they go one loss, unless their schedule was deemed way tougher, which I don't know how that would be. I think Clemson would still get in regardless, as long as they run the table, of course.
Well, it would depend on how good Georgia ends up. And
that too.
At the same time, does the SEC...
They could shit the bed.
Does the SEC end up with 2 teams vying for 2 spots? I mean, that would... I don't know. I think Clemson... It's definitely in Clemson's best interest to beat Georgia, and I think they will.
Right.
I think we win by 3 scores.
The only big game I've seen Georgia win with Smart is the Oklahoma game, and they were beat in that game. At halftime,
Oklahoma forgets how to play defense. Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes.
So there's really nothing else in the ACC as far as contending for. I guess North Carolina could.
You got to watch out for Wake Forest, man. You never know those bastards.
I mean, they can beat a team on a given day, but you're not going to see them pop up anywhere close to the top 4 at the end of the year.
Yeah, probably not. Clemson by 50.
You know what? ACC
Probably.
The ACC really needs Florida State to step it up.
Something.
They need
Miami, Virginia
Has anybody
Tech,
said Miami? I mean, Miami's coming into the season ranked 14th. I'm sure that's going to drop a little bit after a loss to Alabama.
10, right?
Louisville. I don't know. I got a weird feeling about this Louisville coach that he's going to do something he's not supposed to do before he's done. Now, I haven't looked at Louisville, but
isn't that how it usually
have Puma Pass as their quarterback?
Puma Pass?
let me pull it up.
I just had them on this magazine here. Here we go.
Number 4, I think, is what he wears.
Says
Louisville
Malik
open for Ole Miss. That's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I've got that one circled. That's
in Atlanta.
I don't know. Everybody thinks that Ole Miss will just run over Louisville, but I think so. Scott Satterfield has looked good. I mean, he really He's 12-12. He's in his 3rd season. Let me see what he's done. I mean, we know what he did at App State. But App State is traditional. Okay, so yeah, he went 8-5 his first season, and he coveted it all up last year with 4 wins. But we get to blame that on COVID, probably.
Yeah, that was a weird ass year.
The year of the asterisk, yes. Louisville gets to play week 3. They're going to go play Gus Malzahn in Louisville. His UCF, what are they? The Golden Knights now.
The White Knights.
The White Knights.
The White Knights.
Knights of White Satin. Yeah.
Let me look him up. Because there's a lot of people talking about this guy, especially in spring practice.
Yeah, their quarterback's name is Malik Cunningham.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
he was. Well, we know about his dad, so I haven't looked at any film on this guy. But let me see. Did he transfer in? Or no, he's been there for a while, hasn't he? Yes.
He was behind Puma, I guess.
Okay, last year he threw for 2,600 yards, 64% completion rate. Completed 195 out of 304 attempts. 20 touchdowns compared to 12 INTs. I don't know. He's coming along, and the year before that he wasn't too far off of that mark, and he's been hovering around the 60% completion rate. That's what it's going to take for Louisville to jump into the conversation. It's going to take.
Agreed. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they got to do better than 4-7. They usually have some hidden talents, on the field there pretty much every year that nobody really hears about until like the draft. But
I really like Satterfield.
Right.
I don't know what happened last year, and if it happens again this year, then maybe I've been too high on him. But I don't know. I'm going to watch Louisville, and definitely, I got a feeling that they're going to play with Ole Miss. Now, whether they beat Ole Miss, I don't know.
Oh man,
Ole Miss has a tendency to forget to play defense, and that can leave anybody alive in any game against them.
that is true.
All right, who else? Is there anybody else worth mentioning in this conference? How about?
I mean, Boston College may step up and be way better this year.
How about them?
What's Virginia looking like? I don't even know what Virginia's got.
Virginia's so bored. I'm so bored by Virginia. I don't know why. Virginia does not.
It's the Bronco Mendenhall effect.
I don't know what it is. All right, Virginia. Yeah, they were really good a couple years ago. I remember they really had a great showing in the ACC championship game against Clemson.
Oh man.
Sorry, Virginia, 2021. Oh, I don't care about the gubernatorial race.
You sure?
I don't. All right, let me pull their schedule up.
Do you want me to go ahead and pull UCF schedule up while I'm at it?
UCF? Are they in the ACC?
Yeah. No.
But hey,
they will be when they realign the conferences.
we would have more to talk about if UCF was in this conference.
What do you guys think about
Malzahn
this?
takes them to the playoffs this year, expect him to come back and coach Alabama when Saban retires.
What do we think
Wait,
about?
who?
Yeah.
Gus Malzahn.
Oh God.
No.
Oh God.
No, Dane, what were you?
Don't be a prude, Alex.
Oh my God.
What were you asking, Dane?
What do you guys think about this rumored Pac-12, Big Ten, ACC
Alliance.
mega
What?
alliance?
What the
I don't
fuck?
give a
like,
fuck,
say,
man. I mean,
fuck
seriously,
the
you could put
SEC.
every single one of those teams together, and they're still going to be at the bottom of the playoff. So I'm not worried
Oh
about it.
man,
Come
hey,
on,
you're
man.
talking about Clemson here, buddy.
And you're talking about and Ohio State.
Right.
Yeah, man. Where's the
Who
where's
have both
the
been
fucking
at the top
respect
of a
here?
playoff bracket before.
So can I
The Big
ask?
Ten needs to flex their football muscle in this situation and basically absorb whoever they want that's left, because that's really about the only way that they're going to be able to contend with what the SEC's been able to do by snagging Oklahoma and Texas. I mean, that's big time.
Yeah, the Big Ten fucked themselves over on that one.
So
Yeah.
let me ask, what is an alliance compared to a conference? What the
I
fuck
don't
is an alliance?
know. I don't even know.
From the gist I got from it, it's basically just like
They're gonna all vote together at the NCAA
or something. Maybe schedule each other more. Maybe you'll get like Ohio State, Clemson, home and home easier now, or something like that.
That would be
Or-
cool as fuck.
Or Ohio State, USC, home and home again, or something along those lines. I'm
Now
sure.
wait a minute. Now,
But it all but seals the death for the Big 12 if that ends up happening, though.
You know, Doug, and you were saying something about Virginia a minute ago. I just pulled their schedule up, and their opener, if you look at all the other teams that we were talking about, Clemson opening with Georgia, Louisville opening with Ole Miss, which isn't a really sexy matchup, but at the same time, it's a neutral site, prime time game. Here, Virginia is opening up with William and Mary.
Hey,
The tribe.
Oh, boy.
Are they allowed to call themselves that anymore?
Oh, God.
Probably
They
not.
still are on the schedule I'm looking at.
Okay.
But anyway, so let's see. Virginia, Illinois is the second game. That's on September 11th. The 20-year anniversary of the two towers coming down.
Oh my God.
Just thought should I go ahead and insert something here on the edit? But anyway, they're at North Carolina, third game. So, I mean, I don't know what Virginia's got. I have no clue.
I don't either.
What they do? I mean, it don't really matter what they did last year because, like we said, it was a COVID year, and
they had lost pretty much their whole team too.
Right after week 1, they're going to be 1-0, so they're going to be a force to be contended with.
yep. and they'll probably beat Illinois at home, so 2-0 before they go to Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that right there will show you how good they are, I guess.
Okay, so Duke.
Big 3.
Duke still got David Cutcliffe, so
Wait, I thought he was at Clemson now.
get the hell out.
No, I'm thinking Ted Roof.
Oh yeah, Ted Roof. He was at Auburn at one point. They loved him at Auburn.
Everybody seems to love the guy wherever he goes, just not enough to keep him gainfully employed.
All right, so we were talking about Boston College as being a possible.
Yes.
They always play good defense.
All right, so they start out with really two. Actually, yeah, I guess we could count the first 3 games as really tough games. They start out at home against Colgate,
Oh man.
and then they go to UMass,
Oh, the Minutemen.
and then they're going to Temple.
Good Lord.
So
That's all.
That is a brutal schedule.
That's all.
okay. After that, though, they've got Missouri coming to
Oh.
Chestnut Hill, Then they go to Clemson for their first ACC. Their first ACC game of the year is on October 2nd.
Wow.
That's fucked up right there. I don't know if...
Right.
Has anybody ever heard of a first conference game being in October?
Not in October, but definitely last week of September.
Yeah. So
I've had that before.
So they got...
Maybe.
They crammed all of their non-conference games at the beginning of the year.
Interesting.
At Clemson, they got NC State coming to Chestnut Hill. Then they go to Louisville, at Syracuse, Virginia Tech, which I don't know anything about Virginia Tech. I suspect
no one does anymore.
I suspect that it'll be business as usual, which means somewhere
Right.
mid-pack. At Georgia Tech, Florida State coming to Chestnut Hill, and they close with the Demon Deacons at Chestnut Hill. So,
Yeah, basically I went through on playoffpredictor.com, and North Carolina wins that division by a landslide.
yeah.
Miami's once again overhyped, per usual.
Well, let's pull up Miami's schedule if I can find it. Let me see.
Everybody's so high on them once again, and I mean, we've been waiting for the U to come back for almost 20 years now,
Yeah,
Bro, they've been saying they are back for the past 5 years.
at least.
At least.
At least.
all right. They open against Alabama. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
not to mention I've seen that game be like
Well-
number 2 on the most top 10 most intriguing opening weekend games, and I'm like, that's not intriguing. Bama's gonna freaking kill them, dude.
I'll tell you what.
They're gonna get steamrolled.
Bama's gonna murder them.
I'll tell you
There's
what.
nothing intriguing about that at all. Nothing.
But I'll tell you what is intriguing. Week 2, Appalachian State goes to Miami.
Right.
Oh, man.
That's
They're
intriguing.
gonna lose.
That could be something.
Alabama's gonna beat them twice.
Okay, and then the week after, Michigan State comes to town.
And that's a coin toss, depending on how Michigan State is this year.
Yeah. It really
Yeah, talk
is.
about schizophrenia.
Right. I think it goes to Miami right now, just because they got better talent. But
Okay, I don't know.
that might be a good one.
I don't know who this is. It's CCSU, the Blue Devils.
Central Connecticut.
Oh, Central Connecticut goes down.
Yes. So obviously that's a
Yep.
a big dub.
Okay, they start their ACC schedule on September 30th. Virginia.
And low key, look at these last 7 games for them.
Mhm.
For where they are as a program right now, it's kind of a gauntlet having some of those road games that you're going to have. For them, at least, they start with North Carolina, then 2 weeks later they're at Pitt. That Clemson knows that's a pretty decent environment to go play in. Florida State, of course, that'll probably be a night game or something. So I mean, that's rough. That's a rough little stretch for them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Miami probably loses 4 games. I think they'll probably be. I don't think all the hype is unwarranted. There's probably something going on down there that makes them think that they're going to be really good. But I think in the end, you're looking at about 4 losses.
Maybe it's because they finally got rid of Tate Martell that they think they're going to be great now.
I don't know what it is. But did you hear their quarterback had predicted an easy win over Alabama?
Yeah, that's.
I don't know if that's.
That's the
I
most
don't.
absurd shit I've ever heard.
No, I don't know if he actually said that or if Tiggy quoted that shit.
Either way, if he did, he probably should have reached out to Coach O on how much of a mistake that is to make.
Mm-hmm.
Poor guy. Rip.
All right, so are we all in agreement that we're probably looking at Clemson and North Carolina in the ACC championship game?
I can't see it going any other way.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sam Howell being back is all the difference right there. Otherwise, that's probably a crapshoot division. Not like it matters because Clemson's gonna mow over either one of them. So
Does anybody feel like
Clemson by 50.
Florida State may creep back up into this at some point?
it'll be above average.
Out
It
of the
depends
blue.
on how Mackenzie Milton looks, I guess. I think they're going to kind of
Very true.
live and die on if his leg's able to hold up or what. How rusty is he?
If he could be Mackenzie Milton of old.
Oh man,
that's an interesting thing.
Then they could be dangerous as hell.
All right, that's an interesting.
They always have skill position players,
right?
But their problem has really been over the past, I'd say, 6 years. It's like their offensive line's just been atrocious, and their defense has been hit and miss.
Right.
We won't get all the questions answered right out of the gate, but September 5th versus Notre Dame should tell us a little bit about Florida State.
I think so.
I don't think they'll beat Notre Dame, but I mean, it is at home.
I don't think they will either.
It is at home. I mean, it's not something that would shock the shit out of you if it happened, ever.
Oh no.
Because Florida State's one of those teams at this point that when they come back, they don't give a lot of warning. These teams that end up in this group, I don't know. They're not quite blue blood, but they're close.
They've got brand.
Right, they got brand awareness, and obviously, rest in peace, Mr. Bobby Bowden.
Where's our host at? Are you still here?
Oh, I'm still here.
All right, you talk a little bit. I'm fixing to go see a man about a mule. Y'all keep talking.
You're not gonna bring
a shit.
You need to bring the phone like Dane does. I think everybody that has participated in this podcast has either thrown up, peed, or vomited on air, except for Doug and myself, and I think that's a shame.
I only take massive dumps, sir. Respectfully.
We've had 2 vomits.
I don't think I've done any of that.
We've had 2 vomits on the show.
I think actually Pike has vomited more than once, and then we had Amy Sheffield Welch.
That was fucking great.
What a peach she was.
Yep.
That was glorious.
Just off the path a little bit, Madden, I've seen she's arguing with somebody on the internet right now.
I don't see it.
Man.
You know why I don't see it?
Because you're blocked?
No, she's blocked.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. I'll send you screenshots if I see them again.
Excellent.
Hey, send them my way, too.
Do you know Amy?
I've heard of her.
I got you. All right.
So are you going to pee on air or what? I mean, we're kind of holding our breath here.
Y'all go ahead. Y'all keep talking. I'll be back.
I mean, there's not really much else to talk about. I mean, this is I don't know. I mean, this is kind of one of the most redundant conversations we've had for a while because it's kind of like those years that Alabama is really, really, really up. This is kind of one of them, but at the same time, the SEC is the SEC, and there's always surprises around the corner. Clemson has a very clear and distinct path this year, even with a loss to Georgia, which I don't think, because again, if that loss is on opening day, we all know what happens as the season wears on, and Clemson is entering the conversation 11-1 instead of 11-1 with a recent fresh loss for the committee to consider. So, and again,
it could be a quality loss too. They count that.
That's right. If Georgia continues to do what Georgia is capable of doing in the East, in the SEC East, then of course that's all that's going to do is help Clemson. We've seen that happen to a lot of teams in the past.
Right.
That is true.
So, I don't know. I mean, this is a really one-sided conversation, as much as I hate to say it for any fans of the ACC.
I learned my lesson after Deshaun Watson not to doubt who they got at quarterback. I think they're going to be all right. I thought, Deshaun Watson's the best they'll get. Of course, that turned out to be false.
Dude, I think this one that we have right now might be the best of the past 3 or 4.
Even over Trevor Lawrence.
Even over Trevor, he's got a fucking rocket for an arm, man. I mean, I thought that Trevor had a beautiful deep ball, but this guy. Holy shit. He can toss at 80 yards and it looks effortless.
Okay, real quick for everybody for the whole fucking season. Go ahead and pronounce his last name really clearly.
Uiagalelei.
Yeah, Uiagalelei. That's how I've always heard Reese Davis say it. So I just kind of go with that.
All right. That's a public service right there.
Now, say his last name 3 times fast.
Tagovailoa.
I'm still calling him ukulele. So
He is a wonderful, wonderful master of the instrument.
okay, so
He is for sure.
since it's really a foregone conclusion what's going to happen in the ACC and how this is going to end up, everybody can do this. I'm going to do it, and I'm throwing this prediction out right here. I do think that Clemson will beat Georgia, but if they do not, I think it's a good shot that the ACC does not make the CFP this year for the first time in the history of CFP. The ACC has made it every year.
I think we would still get in as long as we beat everybody else by 50 and Georgia's not trash. I think we would still get in.
The only way that Clemson doesn't get in is if Georgia beats them and Georgia manages to go undefeated until they lose to Alabama and Atlanta. And then I think they would be like, well, Georgia lost to Alabama, but Georgia beat Clemson, so we'll just keep them out, put 2 SEC teams in.
And look, that's also supposing that Georgia is your representative from the East. I'm sure a lot of Florida fans would have a lot to say about that this season.
Nah. They got way more back. Georgia's got way more back.
They always have a lot to say about.
But the thing is that Georgia always comes in every year with way more talent, and for some reason or another, just can't seem to punch it in.
Which is true.
So the recruiting there is off the chain. Player development, however, I think is leaving just a little bit, just a teeny little bit to be desired.
Right.
To kick them up into that upper echelon. I mean, we saw that during Rick's tenure there.
Right. It's the curse of 1980.
Curses are meant to be broken, man. You know this.
Which is that? Yeah. Well, Ohio State would know that very well. They broke the curse finally.
Oh God.
No, but I mean that's one big reason why I think Clemson will win this game, because their player development's a lot better. Plus, it's at home. I mean, this is going to be first game with full capacity, because they did have some capacity last year, back from COVID. So Clemson fans are going to be a little noisier than usual.
And all full of COVID the following week, right?
Probably, yes.
COVID super spreader, yeah.
Absolutely, for sure.
The game's in Charlotte, man. Charlotte stayed up with
yeah, there's plenty of COVID in the Carolinas, man. We know this.
Yeah.
Right.
Dane,
y'all got some nasty women out there.
Oh, yeah.
Dane, you got any parting shots?
No, I don't. This has been a very fantastic, not even
a fuck Georgia.
I think they know what's coming. Okay. The smart ones haven't been saying much. You know, it's the boneheads out here talking about Clemson doesn't have any chance and blah 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 blah. But still, Clemson wins by 3.
Well, Dane,
touchdowns probably.
We would definitely put together a Georgia Clemson segment, but we will never find a Georgia fan.
Nah, they're out en masse right now.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them.
Well, I'll troll and see if I can get one. If you need to
find one, I'm sure we can get one.
Well, before that, we'll talk to you and see what days you can do.
Yeah.
All right,
we'll do that.
All right, so Alex, you got any parting shots?
I can't wait to beat Clemson in the playoff again for the second year in a row.
That's not going to happen, buddy. Who's y'all's quarterback this year? I heard y'all have 5 of them. They're growing on trees.
It's not confirmed, but it's basically C.J. Stroud. Quinn Ewers came to Ohio State a little too late to win any job, but he might play towards the end of the season, I think.
I'm sure he'll play in most of your games, probably.
A lot of people seem to think that even if C.J. Stroud miraculously, let's say, goes and wins the Natty this year, that he'll still get benched for Quinn Ewers next year. I don't know how that's possible.
I mean, probably.
Okay, well,
unless
real quick.
Ryan Day is like Nick Saban now or something.
Real quick by Kid Ken. Sure.
Making QB changes.
Hey, Google. Stop playing. Sorry, my Google Home.
That was strange.
My Google Home just kicked in and started talking, and she was.
Want to play too?
She was fixing to play a song, but anyway.
What was she telling me?
We'll be back.
What song was she gonna play?
I don't know.
Ask Alexa which song she was fixing to play, but just don't play it.
Yep.
Don't
Hey,
play.
we're going to go, and we're got to go do the Pike segment here in a second. But
You poor folks. I'm sorry.
What do you mean, poor folks? That's Justin Pike. He's our president.
He's not my president.
You can support this podcast by buying awesome Smacking Off the Podcast merchandise. You can buy our merchandise direct from our Spreadshop store at smackology.myspreadshop.com. Visit it today.
When you're on the North Atlantic and your barometer needle moves a half an inch in just 2 hours, you've moved. It's telling you something, and it's not good news. So you tie it all down and go below, and maybe have the schlitz while you wait it out. Wait it out and hope for tomorrow. You know, you gotta take life a day at a time and grab for all the gusto you can, even in the beer you drink. Why settle for less? When you're out of schlitz, you're out of beer. Schlitz, Milwaukee and the world.
Smacking Off the Podcast would like to invite you to stream the podcast weekly at one of our streaming platforms. You can find us at facebook.com/smackology. Also at the Smacking Off the Podcast Facebook page, just search it on Facebook. You can also find our latest podcast episodes at youtube.com/c/smacking off the podcast. Tune in each Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern for a new episode.
Pike's predictions with President Justin Pike.
And welcome back to Smacking Off the Podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Madden. I'm joined with Doug Phillips, my co-host and producer. We're joined with one President Justin Pike.
That Delta virus is getting bad, man. I don't know how it is in Alabama, but it's not getting too good up here.
It is eating us to fuck up. But I will say this, though. I've noticed that there have been some people that I know that have been hospitalized, but most folks that I know that have gotten it, it's been really nasty, but they've been able to navigate it. I think that the hospitals have gotten a lot better as far as treatments and procedures and things.
Well, the people you know that got it, have they been vaccinated?
Some have and some haven't. Some that have gotten it were very fastidious mask wearers and kind of doing the whole thing, got the vaccines as soon as they were available, and they wound up getting COVID.
Well, that's what you don't want to. You don't want to let the virus know you're scared of it, because if you do, it'll come for you.
Yeah, like Jaws.
Yep.
Yeah.
But anyway,
well, I'm comfortable now that I got my vaccine. Like, I don't even wear my mask anymore. I'm good.
Yeah, I would probably keep wearing that mask just in case. Of course, then again, I mean, that's a personal preference thing. I've started masking up and going into places where there's more than 10 people, just because it's very difficult to try to be around people and stuff. And some people, it makes them feel comfortable. Some people, they look at you like you're funny. I don't care about any of that.
You are kind of funny.
Well, they can't see you anyways because you have your face covered.
Well, and that's the whole reason that I wear it, because I'm a very big critic of facial recognition technology. So if I'm forced to wear a mask, or if I get the option to wear a mask, I'm gonna mask up. Why not?
Before this is all over, at some point this is going to develop into a situation where businesses are going to absolutely forbid masks, because people are coming in easily now and robbing places.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really heard too much about that side of it. I would think that it would be a whole lot easier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but how many people are actually doing it compared to like? I mean, I'm sure people been robbing shit before.
Yeah, but but when they walked in with a mask on, everybody knew something was up. Now nobody knows anything's up until it happens.
Yeah, that was too late.
Well,
I haven't heard about that.
I don't know. I haven't really heard too many anecdotes of that. That's but that is something that I have considered. Walking into a store and wondering if these people think that I'm masking up because I have coronavirus or because I'm casing the joint.
Yep.
And you never know. I mean, there's any time that you're going to have any kind of situation where a criminal can take exploit an opportunity, they're going to exploit it. I mean, that's just a fact. That's been that way since the beginning of criminals.
Mm-hmm. True that.
So I had a dream. Last night. It was a crazy dream. I had a dream that Michelle Kittles and Mack Truck had a rematch. But I woke up before I knew the result of it.
Yeah, I don't believe that's going to happen. I don't believe Kittles is going to come anywhere close to Mack Truck.
Kittles might want to retire after that one because that was a brutal beatdown. That was horrible, man. That was tough to watch after the first 30 seconds. I was up out of my seat rooting for Mac, but after 30 seconds, I was like, man, she's gonna kill that girl. That was tough.
Yeah,
man.
it was something else.
She went at her with, she was ready. She was so ready, it wasn't even funny. And she was coming at her from several different angles right out of the bat before she realized, no, this bitch ain't gonna do nothing. Just went ahead and just
so
took
y'all
her
think
ass
if
to the
they
mat.
were to fight 100 times, you think Mack Truck would win 100 times?
I think
I
think she'd win 90.
You think she'd win 90?
Yeah, I think she'd win a major majority of them. I mean, 100 times is a lot of times, and I don't think that Alabama from last year would beat. Just pick a team that they beat. Auburn. I don't think Alabama from last year would beat Auburn from last year 100 out of 100.
Well, but then you're also talking about football, and there's a lot more variables that go into it than just two fighters one-on-one.
But there's still there is still variables, and I mean
the demoralizing victory that I saw and the level of preparedness. It's not just because Mack Truck is a frequent contributor of the show. It was the fact that she came into that match completely prepared for just about any style that Kittles was going to throw at her. And it just, there wasn't nothing there.
Well, we found out on the podcast what exactly happened is Mack was pissed.
Well, I think that played a lot into it.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you took that out of it, I think that the outcome, albeit maybe not as immediate, it may have stretched out a little bit longer, but I don't see that matchup going past the first round. I really don't, and that's not really it's not really so much about a testament to how prepared Mack was. I think it was how unprepared and how just unathletic Kittles came out. You could tell she's been in a fight or two, so she kind of knew to come out swinging. But after she got any kind of opposition, that was it. She got the wind knocked out of her first off. I truly believe that when Mack took her to the ground. I really honestly believe that. I mean, because she took her down with everything she had.
Yep.
That was a hell of a double leg.
Which is quite a bit.
Yeah, Mack said, we're going to finish this right down here. And it didn't take long to finish it.
No, it didn't. In fact, it took longer to finish than it should have. That ref could have stopped that match probably about 30, 45 seconds sooner. And look, to be fair, I think that the officials knew what the other team was trying to pull with the weight restrictions and these, well, let's go 10 more pounds. And you know what I'm saying? It was a psychological thing at that point. And boy, it backfired on their ass.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. If you're going to fight Mackenzie Brooks, especially if
you better do it square on, man. You better be ready too.
Yep. I mean, you could tell she was mad. You could just. At first, I thought, wow, she has just really worked herself into some anger here, because I thought that they sounded like they had a good relationship. Even though on the podcast they admitted that they didn't really know each other, but I don't think she was mad at that point yet. I think a lot of the shit that they did came after the podcast segment.
Can you imagine the next opponent that Mac has to face, and that's the film that they have to watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. She's gonna have a tough time finding some opponents. Just strictly based on. Well, let me see what this Mac truck is all about. And they pop that 1.5-minute video in and just see her just completely destroy this woman that is probably what Kittles had to be a good 6 inches taller than her or better.
Oh yeah, there was a huge height difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that was ugly.
And Kittles had a reach on her as well.
She did, and Kittles looked like she could have handled herself against a woman of Mac's stature, regardless of whatever weight limit that they want to throw on it. But yeah, she knew, or Kittles camp knew something was up right out of the gate, and they knew they had to do something. And so she met the weight requirement. No, they wanted more. No, it's still too much of a disadvantage. Blah blah, this and this, that, and the other, negating the fact that Kittles had such a tremendous advantage and reach.
Well, I think if Kittles had it to go over, she definitely needed. I mean, you can say this in any fight like this, but she needed to start a little faster. And I don't know. I don't feel like I know anything about Kittles after watching it.
No.
Would y'all watch a rematch of it?
I would watch a rematch, but I don't know who. I mean, I doubt any promoter would be interested.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing there. Kittles is not going to show us anything different than what she's already shown us. I truly believe that, and I think that all that's going to do is give Mac even more time to prepare. And you know, if that's all what she's got to prepare for, I mean, Mac can kind of take it easy, go to Burger King and chill out.
So remember when Mac was talking about her next opponent when we had her on here?
Yeah.
And he mentioned the girl's name. I actually wrote it down and went and looked this girl up. The other girl looked pretty badass she was talking about.
Oh, what's her name?
I couldn't remember. I can't remember. I think I.
And of course, for anybody listening, you can go back and check, or I guess what is that? 3 episodes back of the podcast, and Mackenzie talks about this other fighter that she is currently trying to get a match with.
Yeah, I mean that girl. I think her head shaved or something like that. Like you look like
that don't mean nothing. Mac gonna take her to the ground just like if she got a full head of hair. It don't matter.
Yeah,
Mac got this handled, man. I need to be Mac's promoter. That's what I need to do. I can be an excellent fighting promoter.
She's 29. She if they can find some opponents for her, she may
I
really
can find the opponents. That ain't no problem, man. We live in Alabama. All you got to do is just go across the border over to Mississippi and go to any random Walmart and show up a picture of Mac Truck and say, "Hey, this girl's talking shit about you," and it's on.
Yeah.
Parts of Georgia too, but mainly Mississippi.
So I got good news. So I went to the casino and I played blackjack the other night and I won $2,600.
Oh shit!
So guess what I did the next day? I bought Washington football team season tickets for the whole year.
Good for you.
So I got it. It was $1,300 for one seat, and I got 2 tickets. A friend of mine got the other ticket. But this year it's Monday Night Football against Russell Wilson. Tom Brady's going to be there. Patrick Mahomes is going to be there.
Is Giselle going to be there? That's really what I'm worried about. Tom Brady's nice and all, but his old lady, she can sit next to me any day of the week.
She's beautiful. I can't wait. So I'm going to the first preseason game on Friday against the Bengals. But Joe Burrow's not playing. They already announced Burrow's not going to play, which is a caution thing because he's coming off that ACL. There's no sense playing him in the preseason. You know.
Well, what sports is going on now? What are you going to predict on this week?
There's a big UFC card. So Kevin Gastelum is going to fight. Bet for him. He's lost his last 2 fights, but he's fighting this chump on Saturday. He should walk right through him. It'd be like Mac Truck and Kittles.
He's fighting a chump.
Yeah, he's fighting a guy that's unranked. He fought for the title probably about 3 years ago, and then he got hurt, and he had to rehab for a year. And since he came back, he lost 2 fights in a row. So they're pretty much just feeding him somebody. You know what I mean? To kind of get his mojo back. He's a huge favorite. He's like a 5-1 favorite, but I mean he's gonna win.
And that's your Justin Pike lock of the week.
Nothing to worry about there. That's a free however much you got in your bank account. Just go ahead and empty it on that.
All right. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Hey, I'll see y'all.
Justin Pike, ladies and gentlemen, and that's a wrap.
Tune in each week of the college football season to Smacking Off the podcast for the new Life Championship Top 10. The Life Championship for 2021 will be awarded on December 28, 2021. Don't miss it.
Starting with the college football season, Smacking Off the podcast will stream live at 9 p.m. Eastern on Fridays. You can catch a live stream link at the X's and O's page, facebook.com/smacology. At the Smacking Off the podcast page, facebook.com/smackologist. Also at the #FamilySmack group, or the College Football Frenzy group, among many other groups where the cast is shared.
If you want to be a guest contributor on the cast, email us at smackingoff@gmail.com. Subject cast guest. We're always looking for new contributors.